I actually got caught a shill in my last video about the patch we got. This dude goes to say, Cloud collecting that Sony money while pretending to keep people thinking Sony SDK, Thea, DRM, and easy anti-cheat is not the issue. Said that we have these shills, then again, they live to keep the community alive, which corporals need to milk even more money. Dog, this is a fighting game. I don't know what money you expect there to be. I'm not on Sony's payroll. I said in a pretty viral post, Sony, you guys suck. I would be amazed if they worked with me at any point. 345,000 views, 8.4k likes. You think I'm shilling for them? And mind you, in this video, at the end of this video, if you watched it, I say there's still more shit to be done. We can't let up on their asses. So like, what me for? It's time I give my review on Tokon. I think enough time has passed. We got a couple patches. TLDR, I give the game like a C? Regarding the content, fluidity, the online was a super app from Fairly Odd Parents. The character roster's pretty good. We could use more women, more ladies of passion. Herbert. Yeah, I think the character picks were pretty solid, especially the characters that haven't been in a fighting game before. Carnage, for example, Green Goblin, Phoenix Cyclops. I think the inclusion of Phoenix Cyclops is great because it shows they're not scared to put variants. Usually these games have the primary version of said character, but variants means the doors are blown wide open. So the picks were solid, very good. Put more ladies in there. A bit to go over here, you know. Let's go through what the game has. The online brought it down a lot. If this game launched the way it is now, it'd probably be like a B. It still needs to be better. You know, the online would have been rough, but people wouldn't have hated it as much. What does this game have to offer, right? Like, it's kind of like a general encompassing review, but it's more so going to be like the online and everything that it provides, right? Episode mode was a great idea. You unlock costumes through it. I really like that they make you engage with the game to get outfits. And you play your 20-30 minute episode mode and you get your team's outfits. This is cool for, you know, everybody who doesn't really want to delve into online. The tutorials, the missions, and the lessons are super dope. Lessons are just puzzles that you have to solve, at least the level up missions. So again, it really makes you rattle your brain. Super dope. You know, you have all this stuff, all these little extra amenities that they're probably going to expand on. So single player content, it's not too bad for a fighting game. We all know fighting games suck when it comes to single player content. Look at Street Fighter 6, I should say. Fantastic game. They knew they fucked up with Street Fighter 5 that had basically nothing for single player content. Street Fighter 6, everything is basically revolving around the single player content. The story mode, right? That you can dress up your avatar, make crazy ass avatars, customizable characters. Game single player content is not too bad. It's there. And it leaves more to be desired, but there's some things that are there to be used and played. Let's get to the nitty-gritty replay value of it, right? Like, the aesthetics of the game is fantastic. The game looks beautiful. The way they address the characters and the way characters are just so unique in their playstyle. Mwah! Very diverse. It doesn't have the Dragon Ball problem where all characters felt homogenized. Like, if we just go look at this roster, do any of these really play the same? Maybe a little. Like the combo structure that they follow, yeah, outside of like the more advanced stuff. Basic combos, yeah, sure, but that's intended. That's dev intended. You know, crouching medium, stand medium, jump cancel. That is a dev intended combo structure, so you can do that with all your characters and feel nice about it. But once you get down to the more advanced things, they all feel completely different to each other. I don't think there's any character that I could sit here and say these two characters play the same. They may do similar things, like play neutral, play rushdown, but the way they approach it is vastly different. Gotta gloss over this real quick. Yeah, just being in the gallery, just all the extra cool stuff, all the music, the artwork. I don't even know what relationships is. Oh, it just shows like a... Okay, that's pretty cool. There's some lore going on here. Yeah, this is actually a lot more in depth than I originally thought, man. This is super dope. Wow. Now, we all know what the online experience, at least for PC, a majority of it has been trash. This is what brings down the rating a lot for me. And I gotta imagine most of us feel the same. And PlayStation players are also having connectivity issues. The patches that came out did help trying to find matches. It's not the best, but it's a good start. There are issues. They actually acknowledged it. It was today. Okay. That Marvel Tokon devs admit it will be extremely challenging to regain player trust after troubled PC launch. This is massive because they know they fucked up with a super F in front of it. And like I've talked about it, I've put out my thoughts on Twitter. Like I said, like they suck. Like let me pull it up. Yeah, I think it's massive that they acknowledge this is an issue and an ongoing issue. I actually got caught a shill in my last video about the patch we got. This dude goes to say, cloud collecting that Sony money while pretending to keep people thinking Sony, SDK, Thea, DRM, easy anti-cheat is not the issue. Said that we have these shills, then again, they live to keep the community alive, which corporals need to milk even more money. Dog, this is a fighting game. I don't know what money you expect there to be. I'm not on Sony's payroll. I said in a pretty viral post, Sony, you guys suck. I would be amazed if they worked with me at any point. 345,000 views, 8.4k likes. You think I'm shilling for them? And mind you, in this video, at the end of this video, if you watched it, I say there's still more shit to be done. We can't let up on their asses. So like, what fuck me for? I actually didn't expect to include this in my video, but I think it's important that we go through this to learn where their headspace is with this interview. Yeah, it would be extremely challenging to get their audience back and has offered sincere apologies to fans who have been affected. While the team has been thrilled to see the reception on console, he and the team are well aware of the issues faced by PC players. Huge, massive. It's been 2 weeks since the release and we're very appreciative to see that there's been quite a positive reception from the players in regards to the game's content itself. However, at the same time, unfortunately in the PC version of the game, there have been in-game issues experienced by many players, which we really apologize to the player base for all of these problems. Currently, the team is hard at working on fixing these issues and we now released 2 urgent patches. The CPU processing load issue has been greatly improved now as of the latest patch. However, the team is still hard at work to continue working on resolving remaining issues. Again, communication is key. It is huge. It is massive. It is girthy and thick at this point. They know there's a problem. They're addressing it, trying their damnedest to solve them. They could have just been like, here you go, losers, and then that's it. Tokon launched a mixed reception on Steam, which is 40% of the English. Yeah, the reviews were terrible. You know, the launch was pretty bad. Current players is pretty low. Does this link to it actually? Yeah, we're at 4K right now. Like, they stopped the bleeding a bit, but they still need to fix more. I do think that it's an extremely challenging task that we need to undertake, where we sincerely want to put all of our effort forward to create an environment where the players can experience this game that we've worked so hard to create, and that we do have a lot of confidence in the game itself will be really fun for them. The game is fun. You cannot really refute that. You could go in training mode and just have a lot of fun, at the bare minimum. Yamanaka went on to say, we realize the issues on the PC version have created a lot of trouble for the players and we truly apologize for that. But we can promise that we are continually working very hard on improving for the future and we hope that players will stick with us and keep creating more excitement for Marvel Tokon. He added, why is this so small? What is this? A quote, friends? I would like to just say that I truly appreciate every single player who has purchased the game around the launch, and to some players on the PC who were kind enough to purchase the game, but then they experienced these issues or were unable to play the game in its best way, and maybe left the game for the moment or even refunded. I would just like to express my most sincere apologies for all of those issues that they've experienced. I do feel that it will not be an easy task at all to regain trust that we've lost from this. However, this is an issue that we're facing head on and we're trying to tackle it directly to try to continue working with all that we have and to provide an environment where players will be able to smoothly experience the game. I feel that this is the most that we can do, so the team will continue to work together as one to try to provide a game that the players can enjoy even more than the initial version of the game, and all we can do is our best to pray that that sentiment will reach the player base. This may be crazy, but I think I'm gonna bump my rating up a little bit because of this article and this acknowledgement so soon. So we're like at a C+ now? Maybe a B-. This is massive. Like, yes, this doesn't have to do with the gameplay, but this has to do with everything else revolving it and their perception and their reception and their communication with the community, which is huge. Having devs talk to us is a good thing, even if it's, you know, very sparse, like, oh, here's an update, you know, once a month, whatever, or them acknowledging their mistakes is huge. A lot of devs don't do that. Just to give some context why I think this is really big, Strive had an issue where this guy would hack into the game. I don't know how he did it, but he would slow down people's matches, slow down tournaments, ruin tournaments. Like, it got to the point where I think tournaments had to go off stream so the guy wouldn't even know they were being ran or like what the lobby was. I don't know how he did it. And Arcsys didn't acknowledge the guy. They said, is the hacker man in the room with us now? Until what? It was like a diaphone clip that maybe I could find that. He's like, hacker man, if you are here, slow down my game. Okay, here's the clip. Diaphone says, this is the power of me and Hackerman working together. Arc system works, you might want to fix this sometime. Hackerman slows game down when he hears the world from me. It was a cold word. And the reason it's so important on this character is because Asuka has this card mechanic essentially, where this super lets you manually pick them, but it's really fast, so you have to know exactly what you want. But since he slowed the game down, he can easily pick what he wants, and then the game goes back to normal after. And he slowed down Diaphone's game, and Arcsys was like, well, shit, we can no longer deny his existence, and you know, they did something. So it's nice to see how far they've come from that moment. But yeah, this is great. You know, they're owning up to their mistakes. They're not afraid to say they're wrong. But back to the game itself. I'm pretty sure the lobbies are fine. Obviously, people just you walk up to a cab and you fight somebody, and that's cool. But this is where like the real issues lie, especially when it comes to like setting teams. You know, the replays I hear still desync from time to time. Spectating gets broken in the game, and they're aware of all these issues. They know all this is happening, and they're working to fix them. But talking about the current product and not the then but the now, it's better, a lot more playable than it was prior. But now let's get into the gameplay. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the training mode options real quick. It's very encumbering, very intimidating if you're new to fighting games, because there's just so many options. If you guys would like to see a how to training mode video, I can make that for you. I don't know if there's one out there. So many options here: training dummy settings, train essentials. You got options in your options. You have a second menu that you have to hit the Y or triangle button to get to, specific gauge settings. But I will say there's a lot to this training mode. It's amazing. I think you can even go to replay takeover from here. I could be wrong though. You can create save states, which is spectacular. This is a very well-made training mode, but it's a little chaotic to navigate. Like, for example, position reset is where your team members lie, which I thought would be a gauge setting because they're bound to the assemble gauge. So training mode's a little chaotic all over the place. It could be easier to navigate, but I'm glad we have all these options when the game came out. No hitbox and hurt boxes though, so you know, like, I can't give it a perfect score or a very high score, but it's solid. Now the big thing, right? The thing that brings people back, you know, what opens the revolving door, the gameplay. Yeah, dude, this game's training mode is actually insane. There's so many cool things that you can do, like just practicing in general. You can obviously teleport from side to side if you have the right button binds. You can practice sick combos. You know, there's just so much to be done here. The gameplay in this game is actually fantastic. Just being able to do sick combos. Oh, I messed up. Yeah, this game has so much freedom with things that you can do. Like, you could start a combo with magic. You know, bring in Blade afterwards, or Star-Lord, and then do some sick shit with them, right? And then you could bring in Storm, do some sick shit with her. Like, you could just jump a dude with your entire team in a sick combo. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw a tweet of Star-Lord doing this the other day, and I was like, this guy's a genius. Can I hit this? I'm gonna have to edit this in post. Like, this is so cool, man. This guy was a genius. That's not hype? That's not hype? This game don't got sick combos? Star-Lord don't got sauce? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. This game got sauce. Like, come on. Like, my combo contest is gonna go crazy. I'm doing a combo contest, by the way, so look forward to that. It has a live combo contest. You gotta come on, and I'll announce that, and you'll figure out how to apply for that later. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. We talked about most things this game has to offer. The graphics are amazing. The sound effects are dope. Matchmaking obviously needs work. Okay, of course, there's like the top tier broken characters that are annoying, but that's just fighting games. Law of nature, man. You're gonna have broken ass characters that hopefully get adjusted properly. Yeah, aesthetics, graphics, visuals, everything is solid. Besides the matchmaking, the PC port, but they're working on it. They're working on it. They hear us and they acknowledge that. If I miss anything, or maybe there's something else you find cool in this game, just let me know. Even the unique supers are also mad sick. This is probably one of the coolest parts about the game, is every character has a very specific Tokon super that my man pulls up with the R-wing and blasts you. It takes off the mask. He's like, I need to see this shit in 4K. and then you get posed on by the squad. Also, mods are gonna go crazy for this game. I'm just saying. Black Magic. The promoter, mod from RC Burrito. Check him out. Follow him on Twitter. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If I miss anything or there's something you want to add, just let me know. Your local Sony shill signing off. Bye!